Join us for a scenic detour from the usual Tech Talk as we explore the beautiful waterfront city of Barrie, Ontario. With Jeff on vacation, Bill Marshall traveled more than 7 hours to join us on the Data Drive. He and Robbie discuss quirky Barrie road names, reminisce about model trains, and discuss how a Raspberry Pi might add modern maker excitement to the nostalgic hobby. Stick around as they share tech insights from our picturesque Canadian hub. This is Data Drive. Starring Robbie Ferguson and special guest Bill Marshall.
Did they change the name of this place?
That place.
What place?
That place.
Rona Plus.
Oh, Plus. That used
Lowe's?
to be Lowe's.
Ah.
Still has all the other Lowe's signs up, but not the
Interesting.
store name.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same. I'm just wondering if they're actually going to put the road through to the other section of the same road.
That's the plan. That's why there's 2 Bryne Drives.
But it's been 6 years.
Yeah, at least that. It's been, Barrie residents will tell you, it's been more like 20 years, Bill.
Yeah, well, It's been 6 years since I've been here, and it hasn't budged an inch on this side.
Yeah. Well, you should see the other side. I'll show you the other side. Then you'll be like, ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah.
All right, let's go to the other side.
Not like the interchange here at the highway that's just a mess.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be nice when it's done.
Lots of room. Lots wider. Yeah. Bill Marshall, welcome to the Data Drive.
Thank you. It's I don't know what to do. I don't know if
we
I
never
can.
do.
I can
we never
fill
do.
Jeff's shoes or seeds.
Yeah. I started the Data Drive with Jeff specifically to maximize productivity during the commute. And you, sir, I will never complain about my commute again. How long did it take for you to get to our studio in Barrie?
7 hours and 47 minutes.
Coming from south of the border.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's good to have you joining us here in Barrie.
I love it up here. It's beautiful.
Yeah. What have you seen so far? What do you like about Barrie? We'll call this the tourist episode.
The tourist episode. I just like the area. It's calmer. You know, being a New Yorker, it's anything's calmer almost.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Barrie's a great city. I love living here. It's we got a nice waterfront, which we'll drive by, because we're not doing a commute today. We're just driving around town, touring the sites.
Right.
Finding the other end of Bryne Drive, which is incidentally Bryne Drive, not Bryne Drive.
Yeah, and Mrs. Google Maps doesn't know how to.
Google Maps is like Minet's Point.
Minet's Point.
Minet's Point.
Well,
there's a couple of good ones.
It's not French?
I suppose technically maybe the origin is French, but so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Barrie residents are wrong.
It depends on who. If it's named after someone, how did they pronounce it?
Yeah, that's it.
Because we have a Dubois.
Yeah.
And it's Dubois.
And it's called Dubois.
Drives me insane.
Well, Bryne Drive. So I had a colleague named Bryn. And so I when I first met him, is it Bryne or Bryn? Bryn. Definitely Bryn. So, okay. Thank you for settling an argument.
My daughter went to school with a Bryn.
There you go.
Yes.
Not too many Brynes.
No, not too many Brynes.
Too many streets named after seafood.
Brine is what you put pickles in.
Ah, yes.
Cucumbers to become pickles.
Or pork chops.
Yes.
I made a nice pork chop on Sunday night.
Yes, they were
which
awesome.
sat in brine for a good couple hours there.
Oh, and the access road to Bryne Drive is Essa.
Bryne Drive. Bryne Drive. Get it right. We've already been through this.
Essa Road.
Essa? No, that's
Essa.
Essa.
Yes.
Yeah. Barrie, though, and like so many other cities, you'll be driving, and I feel sorry for anyone who's not familiar with the road structure. You'll be driving, and suddenly Lakeshore turns into Tiffin.
Oh, that happens all over the place.
But yet there's another Lakeshore. And we're about to drive through the other Bryne, because we were just talking about Bryne Drive. And, there are multiple ends of Bryne Drive that actually don't connect. So that is what it is.
There are only two, though?
There are only two that I'm aware of.
Because growing up on Staten Island, there was a Delafield Avenue, and there were three of them. And they all line up in a straight line, except there's a house in the middle that breaks it up into two. And then you go several blocks down, and there's another house. And then you go to the other side of that house, and then it picks up again. It's like, okay.
When we first moved to Barrie, I guess 20 years ago, 20 some odd years ago, it was tough to get around, like when roads change like that. But now it's like tech has changed everything. I use Waze, Google Maps, any of these kinds of things, and originally a GPS that, so I'm not getting lost as much, because I'd end up at the completely wrong Bryne Drive.
In your own town.
In my own town. Well, when I was new here, yeah. But I mean, like, you drive all the way. Someone would say, meet me at such and such on Bryne Drive, and you drive all the way, and it's on the far other side of Barrie.
Yes.
So.
And there's no way.
There's not.
No
it's not
easy
like Bryne
way
Drive North or Bryne Drive South. It's just Bryne Drive. But Waze and Google Maps have changed everything. So I feel confident driving in Toronto because I don't have to worry. Sometimes I just see traffic in front of me. I'll just scoot off on a side street knowing that my GPS app is going to correct me and direct me home. Right.
Growing up, the highway that ran through my area would be a 5 mile long parking lot. And that's all it was. It was 5 miles long. But
a parking lot? Or you just mean it's like
just
stopped? It's just not moving. Okay.
Stopped. Yeah. Not moving. Just
This is like Richmond Hill on the 404.
Well, that's the county I grew up in, Richmond.
Oh yeah.
In New York, and we didn't. It didn't bother us because we could get off at any exit and get home.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But those other people, they were stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, when you know your way around Barrie, you can pretty much take any exit, but there's a lot of construction happening as they're widening the highways.
Yes, I see that a lot.
I guess technically, you asked if there were 3 Bryne Drives. There are.
Uh-oh.
There are 3 Bryne Drives because they haven't connected so off of Harvey Road, it's that's the new end of Bryne Drive that's meant to connect everything. So there's 3 right now, but it's not, you can't go down it yet. It's still under construction.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because by the hotel, there's woods.
Yeah.
It's all trees. The road just ends.
Yeah. And here we are on the other end.
And for a change, I'm not driving.
Right?
I'll change tomorrow.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
8-hour drive home.
Long drive.
Yep.
I haven't been down this way in a while. How far does it go? And that's the end.
That's it.
That's as far as they go so far, Bill. So, but you can see they're working on it.
Oh, there's a road. It's just, it doesn't lead to anything yet.
Yeah.
Well, that was amazing.
What else do you, with sarcasm.
What else do you do for fun?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, we find the other ends of roads.
I think you may have a light out.
Yeah, and Solbu called out the sound of the clicking, click, 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 because that tells you typically
that there's a light out.
Exactly. And so I said to Solbu in the Discord chat, actually, I just replaced all the bulbs with LEDs. And the LEDs don't have the same resistance as the...
So the system thinks it's out.
The system thinks it's out. So I'm like, okay, do I add resistors to add more load to the blinker so that it thinks that there's something there all the time? But then I got thinking, if I do that, then I'll never know if a light bulb is burned out because there's always going to be a load there.
No, you wait for the police to pull you over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, forget about it. I'm not going to do LEDs because I could have also bought a new relay module. But it's like, when it's $3 for a bulb, and I'm going to pay $80 to replace 2 modules. It's like, no way. So I put incandescents back in, and then 3 days later, one of the bulbs burns out. So, good thing.
Sweet.
Now I know about it. So yes, one of my bulbs is in fact burned out this time.
And the reason I say you wait for the police to pull you over is because one of my cars did that. It got fast.
Yeah.
And I think it was within 2 days I got pulled over. Said, one of your lights is out. It's okay.
Oh, thank you, officer.
Luckily, I was a half a mile from an auto parts store.
Oh, yeah.
I said, so when are you going to get it fixed? I said, I'm going right over there.
Oh, I was just on my way. Yep. So not everybody knows that Barrie is such a tech hub for Ontario, but we're on a separate grid than Toronto, so a lot of the big companies want to put their data centers here. So here's 50 Reed Drive. You can see it's just a big empty parking lot and a giant building that is just sitting there completely unmarked, completely inconspicuous. And that's where the Bank of Montreal has their data center.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Looks
Huge.
Looks like they were building something deep in the woods over there, though.
Yeah, look at the size of it, though.
Well, you have this land.
Yeah.
What else you gonna do with it? Build housing?
Skyscrapers, Bill. That's the future.
Up.
Yeah, build up.
Not out. Up.
They can build a whole bunch of nice little single family homes, but they'll just get taken up by Airbnb.
Or people will buy them as investment properties.
Yep. And then they sit empty.
Because Barrie must be up and coming as a suburb of Toronto.
Barrie's a great commuter city. Highway runs right through it.
Yeah, and it's not that far.
Yeah.
Really isn't.
Yeah, it could be worse, yeah.
It's closer. You're closer to Toronto than I am to New York City from my job.
Well, Barrie is kind of in between Toronto and the Muskokas, which is cottage country.
Oh, okay.
So it gets busy on a holiday weekend because everyone's heading to the cottage.
Are they off the grid in the cottages?
No.
No?
I mean, some, surely, but no, most stuff is on the grid nowadays. I guess there'll still be some, I don't know, but maybe I'm just not rough enough. So I don't enter those cottage neighborhoods that are not connected to the sewage system.
Not exactly what I meant, but okay.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of areas where I live that are off the grid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you meant solar power. You were trying to bring this back to tech.
I was trying. I mean, do your cell phones work in the cottages?
Yeah. These days, yes.
Okay.
All the way into Haliburton County. Now, you could go into areas of Algonquin Park, and I guarantee you there are not towers in there. Because that's like...
Oh, in the park.
In the park, yeah.
See, west of where I live, there's a lot of reservoirs.
Yeah.
So there's, massive lakes like Lake Simcoe here. Mm-hmm. So there are no towers in that area.
Right.
So if you look at a cell phone, any of the major cell phone coverage maps, you'll see these gaping holes in southwestern New York State, and that's where the reservoirs are. And so there are no towers in there.
I feel like where the core cottage areas are probably going to be serviced these days. Some of the telecommunications companies really pushed when LTE came in, right?
Okay.
So new towers.
Well, people don't like being off the grid as well. And as long as there are enough people that go for it, so the telcos can make money, they'll do it.
I think too, what the pandemic brought about is that now a lot of organizations that couldn't previously work from home have that facility. So if you can go to the cottage and you've got high-speed internet and you can work from home, but actually work from the cottage, how great would that be? Like,
work from your vacation home. Oof.
Well, but without having to take vacation. So still get to go and enjoy the amenities of the cottage.
Right.
Relax, have a campfire that night, whatever you enjoy doing, but be able to sit out and listen to the cicadas and the birds chirping away from your laptop. That sounds pleasant.
Until you hear that Teams chime go off.
Time for another Teams call.
That's it.
Yeah.
We have so many different forms of communication now. I'm so sick of hearing all the different chimes.
And needing all the different apps.
Yep. Well, I have my phone, one of my phones with me so we can text each other, and it still goes off, and I tell it to be quiet.
Yeah, you're on vacation, so they can't bug you. Yeah.
Thankfully, I work for my manager is very big on it's your time.
Awesome.
You keep it and you relax. Because we need you back full swing.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get your downtime so that you can be.
Yeah, you recharge.
You gotta recharge.
Talking model railroads, adding in the sounds. Bill's got a lot of knowledge, bringing those trains to life. Raspberry Pi, making it smarter. Elevate the hobby, let's electrify. Feel the city's heartbeat, Barrie's on the rise. New heights, future's looking bright. Data Drive, driving with the music. Barrie Drive, in session sky. Driving through the wind drives, free of them confusion all night.
At Data Drive, we trust only Kingston Endurance micro SD cards for our dashcam footage. Built for high endurance and reliability, they handle the extremes, from blistering summer heat to bone-chilling Canadian winters. Our dashcams face it all, but Kingston Endurance micro SD cards never miss the action. Is your device ready for a Kingston upgrade? Whether it's your dash cam, action cam, surveillance or trail camera, drone, Raspberry Pi, smartphone, or even your Nintendo Switch, go with the reliable, high-endurance choice with Kingston Endurance micro SD cards.
Data Drive is brought to you by Ameridroid.com. From Singapore computers to home automation and accessories, Ameridroid.com offers top-notch products, worldwide shipping, and unbeatable US-based service. Explore endless possibilities with Ameridroid.com.
Welcome back, 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 welcome back.
Up ahead here, we have a big greenhouse that furnishes a lot of the flowers that you see around Barrie.
Wow.
Big place, Bradford greenhouse. This is not.
That's
this is in Barrie.
That's a green warehouse.
Yeah, it's huge, huge, huge. We like going there at Christmas time, and they set it up with all just completely decorated.
That's a day trip right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as when we were young parents, you look for things like that where you can just take the kids, spend an afternoon They have things like train shows where they have model railroads.
Nice.
Things like that. That's, a technology that is fading away as far as like its popularity goes.
Oh, it breaks my heart. I grew up with model trains.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a small set. Nothing elaborate or anything, but something I could set up and play with and then tear down and put away.
My dad used to, I don't want to use the word preach, but he used to do Bible lessons with model railroads.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, he created his own rail line using my older siblings' initials. And he used that. He hand painted his own cars, and
Really?
he would use them as
Do you know what scale?
Those were
so they were
scale.
big ones.
Oh, they were the big ones.
So this is like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood kind of idea, like the trolley that would drive around.
Yeah, you're talking 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was probably HO, but I'm not sure N was around yet, or the even smaller Z.
Yeah.
If anything else, there was S scale, which was fading out because HO and O were just dominating. We had a couple of large handmade, homemade layouts.
Awesome. That's cool. My son and I, Liam, who's our youngest, we're just starting a layout. So we've got the foam, which is cut to 6x4, and 6x4, and we're just setting that up. And I 3D printed a portal for a tunnel, and he's painted that, spray painted it with a gray first, and then he's going over the bricks with various shades of reds and
Nice.
browns and things. And we've never done it before, so it's slow going, but it's a fun project to do.
It's a very involved hobby. You can get ultra detailed with that.
Yeah.
Do a nice job.
I found out about static grass, which I'd never heard of before. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
So it's a static applicator, electronic, that you put the grass that you typically would sprinkle over the glue, and it would look like grass, but it didn't look really real. It looked more like AstroTurf. But with the static grass applicator, it electrifies the grass so that it stands up.
Yep.
So as you're sprinkling it, it looks like it's growing out of the model.
It's amazing. Somebody had their hairs standing on their arm and said, "Hey, we can transfer that to grass."
Yeah, that gives me an idea.
That's it.
This is genius. It's just small electrical charge and looks amazing. So we're looking for, and that's a HO scale.
Yeah. HO's good because you can get very realistic with that, and it takes up half the space.
Yeah.
Because it's literally half O.
Is that what HO stands for? Okay. Cool. So one of the things that I want to do, and we've already bought the components for it, so we're ready to go, and we've done some testing without the model being set up, or the layout. I've got a Raspberry Pi 3 B+ with a touch screen. It's a little...
Of course you do.
Yeah. It's a little 6-inch touch screen. And we've written a Python program that runs a web server on that touch screen, on the Raspberry Pi. And you can throw WAV files on it from any computer on the LAN.
Okay.
And it's connected through the GPIO to a voltage sensor. And the voltage sensor picks up how many volts are going through the rails, which is, of course, controlled by your speed controller for the train. So the trick is, so we've got it so that as the voltage increases, so too does the speed of the playback of the audio. So if you are going really, really slow, your train sounds like...
As it should.
And as you speed up... So, and it's all controlled by a Raspberry Pi. And then he can touch the touch screen and go, poo-doo, and all these kinds of things, right? So this is just our own little Python code that we've written, and I hope to open source it one day if I can get it clean enough that it's distributable. Nice. But it's something I'll just throw on GitHub. But so implementing kind of maker tech into the old school technology. And this is just DC. So nice and easy to pull the current from. It's not computer controlled, so no DCC. And we're having a lot of fun with it. But it's slow going because we got to coordinate our time together. And yeah, I got to keep a 13-year-old's interest.
Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Don't let him get too old because Dad,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yeah. So last night I was just looking at, because I did have trouble cutting the foam with an X-Acto knife, like just a box cutter kind of knife. And I was like, I really need something better. So I was looking at the electric foam cutters.
The hot wire.
Yeah, the hot wire that just melts its way through. And it'll just let you do nicer curves.
Absolutely.
Things like that. So I'm going to pick up one of those.
Yeah. That's old school way of doing it.
Yeah. So that's
Nobody used
next
a
time.
knife. It was always the hot cutter.
I'm learning as I go because I didn't ever have anyone to teach me how to do it, right? And so you watch a lot of YouTube videos, figure out ideas. Now the voltage detector, that's all our idea, and the audio system and everything, because he doesn't have DCC, so he can't DCC has some of those cool features, but how can we do that with just DC?
Yeah.
And so that's where that idea came from.
Nice.
So we're just entering Barrie off of Dunlop.
That was 400.
That was the 400 we just crossed over, and we're coming from the direction of Angus, Ontario.
There's one of your skyscraper apartment buildings.
Work in progress. They're going to be taking over Barrie. We've got around our lakeshore some 47-story buildings that are going to be going up over the next 10 years.
47.
That's what they tell me. What's a big building to you, Bill? I mean, you're in New York. So.
I'm in New York City, so it's not a fair comparison.
Yes. So in Barrie, keep in mind that 17 stories would have been considered, you really are pushing the envelope of the regulations here. And then just recently they've been opening it up for larger, taller
47
buildings.
is a large jump.
Yeah.
That's
and what does that
large.
one look like? I mean, look at the building straight in front of us versus the one that is next to it that's being built that just towers over it that's 4 times as high.
Yeah.
And the one in front of us would have been about the tallest building in Barrie, roughly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's growing up.
I think the highest I've been up in buildings is one of the old trade center buildings that was on 93rd floor.
93rd. Wow. Your ears pop?
They popped it around 40, 50.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the old trade center, you had an express elevator that took you to the sky lobby on the 70th floor.
Neat.
So these massive elevators they'd pack people in like cattle, and you watch the numbers. They counted by 10.
Oh,
That thing moved up, and it was 10,
Wow.
20, 30, 40.
Boy, oh boy.
And the scary part was at that speed that it's going, it bounces off the shaft.
Oh.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Kind
Don't go up there on a windy day.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I've only in Toronto. I stayed in a hotel I was on the 42nd floor, I think it was, somewhere around that.
Oh, 42nd floor. I do that every day.
Yeah, see, that's the most I've ever seen. And here in Barrie, there's just nothing like that until now, until the coming years. So you can see that in front of us.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's got to be that's over 30 stories, that one.
Yeah. So the ones they're going to be putting up must be a little bit taller than that one even. So that's going to change the look of our waterfront, Bill.
It will. It will. I mean, you see those. I would think those over there, they look like about 16 or 17 stories.
Yeah.
That would be maximum.
That was about Yeah, you can see all around our bay. Those are the kind of buildings that we have.
Those are fairly bog standard.
Mm-hmm.
Then they start getting up into the 30s. And anybody that used to be able to see the bay is like...
That's the tragedy of it. You buy property for the view, and then you lose your view. But hey, you can always move into one of the high rises.
Yeah, until they tell you how much they're asking for.
Yeah. I'm going to point something out to you, Bill, just as kind of to bring this conversation full circle. But we're about to cross over the third Bryne Drive. And they actually called it Bryne Drive North. Look at that. So it's going to go through here. But right now it's just forest and muck.
Yeah, but at least they're
working on it. I mean, they got that far. But there it is.
Wait a minute. This is Bryne Drive North?
I guess.
So...
Which is just...
Since I'm like completely turned around, I have no idea where I am.
So your end is down there.
So my end is... Which way?
That way. Bryne Drive.
Then that should be north.
Right. So maybe they're going to extend it. Maybe your hotel's on the other side of the forest.
Yeah, but then where my hotel is, that should be north. This shouldn't be north. Unless this starts north. Yeah, and that's south.
Yeah, it is. But...
Well, where it is...
who knows how long it's going to be before they all interconnect. So there are the 3 Bryne Drives.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Data Drive. We had a blast showing you around Barrie, sharing laughs about disconnected roads, and reminiscing about old-school model trains. Whether you're here for the tech, the nostalgia, or just to unwind, we hope you enjoyed this scenic ride. If you're working on your own projects, like Robbie's Raspberry Pi-powered model railroad, or just exploring your own town, keep that maker spirit alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Bill returns again next time as we dive deeper into Raspberry Pi projects, and we'll take a drive through an innovative Canadian town that's evolving into an incredible smart city. It's time to park the bald nerdmobile for now. We'll see you next time on The Data Drive.